Welcome to Charter Local Edition. I'm Tracy Young. Our guest is Assemblymember Anthony Portantino, who represents the 44th District. He joins us to talk about legislation that he has introduced that will help all Californians who have become victims of both fire and floods. Nice to have you with us, Assemblymember.
Thanks, Tracy. I appreciate it.
So, what is it about California? We live in this amazing place, and yet, you know, when we have fires, they're so incredibly serious. The fire we had in Los Angeles was the largest we'd had.
Largest in history.
Right, and then what do we have now? It's followed up by, instead of a drought, now all of a sudden our rain comes along.
Absolutely. No, you're 100% correct. And
So talk about what happened. Unfortunately, you happen to have a lot of the district where the fires took place. How bad? I mean, we know it was the largest, but how bad was the damage?
well, the damage was largely contained within the hillsides. I mean, we were lucky in that the firefighters did a great job protecting a lot of our property. The winds cooperated by blowing north versus
We didn't have Santa Ana's blow
We did
during
not
that
have
time.
Santa Ana's. Had we had Santa Ana's, we probably would have lost thousands of homes through the devastation. But we did have some property loss. Now we're facing the mudslides because the hillsides don't have any greenery on them. They don't have the wonderful native plants we all cherish. They've all burnt away. And so the homes that are nestled up in the foothill communities are susceptible to severe mudslides.
And we don't know what's going to happen here. I was listening to a meteorologist who said we think we are in an El Nino this year. So the rains that we had in January, we are likely to see some again through February and March. This probably isn't over.
Well, it's not over. I mean, the good news is that the County of Los Angeles and the cities, in particular the city of La Cañada Flintridge, have brought in the U.S. Geological Survey. They've modeled the potential mudslide flows. There are whole neighborhoods that have those concrete K-rails down their streets and in front of their driveways to divert the mud from the debris basins into the street. They keep continuing to clean out the debris basins, and they're doing a fantastic job. Every time there's a rain, there's an army of public works and firefighters out there to make sure they clean up and get it ready for the next one. And there are people that are getting some minor property damage right now. Knock on wood, we're getting through it. That's why we've also introduced the legislation to help, because those folks who've lost their home to to the fires or now to the mudslides should be entitled to get their property values of whatever their insurance don't cover, some of the mitigating measures they've had to put into their homes if their homes are devalued.
Boy, mold and mildew, if it's rain and then fire, you've got the smoke.
Right. And
even if the structure's there, you won't know about that.
Absolutely. So we're trying to help the homeowner. We're also trying to help the local governments that might lose some property tax revenue. So we're asking the state to come in and have an umbrella system. Myself and Kevin Jeffries are the co-authors of the two bills.
And is this emergency legislation?
Right. One went into the special session just called by the governor, and one into regular session. So we're hoping that they get referred out and they get through the system, because the homeowners, the cities, the counties need relief.
Speak to me about something on a long-term basis. It seems like we're going through fires, we're going through floods. We never know, but the statistics say that we're due for an earthquake, unfortunately. How do we pay for, when we talk about this damage, we're not talking about $100,000. We're probably talking in the neighborhoods of hundreds of millions of dollars. How do we pay for this during these economic times?
Well, that's a great point. We have an amazing emergency response system in California, mutual aid, where one community helps another community, where north helps south and east helps west. That costs money. It's there. We have to properly fund it, so no matter whether it's a hurricane, a fire, a slide, an earthquake, we're prepared, and that's going to take us working bipartisan. And frankly, I support the governor's proposal to have an emergency response initiative.
Because that would mean that all of us would bear the cost of the cleanup that any one of us actually happens to happen to our homes.
Correct.
All right. Thanks so much for your time, sir.
Thank you.
For Charter Local Edition, I'm Tracy Young. Now back to CNN HLN.